beloved, precious people, as a direct result of the recent solar eclipse that transpired and occurred across the United States. I'm telling you right now, that was a tremendous sign. The Bible warns us that in the end times that there will be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the heavens. Okay, and that was a sign of tremendous things that are to come. Okay, a lot of events are going to be happening. A lot of things are going to be happening. Okay, and you must understand that Hurricane Harvey was just the beginning. Okay, now we're facing Hurricane Irma. Hurricane Irma right now currently is on the move in the Atlantic. Okay, and I'm telling you right now, these are signs of the time. Since that solar eclipse, we're gonna experience a tremendous effect.
Windows shattered, trees uprooted.
We do know we've had extensive damage there. A lot of homes, a lot of businesses damaged.
Tonight, along the Texas Gulf Coast, utter devastation. In the town of Rockport, entire blocks are decimated.
Hurricane Irma has absolutely blown up in the far tropical Atlantic with 100-mile-an-hour winds.
It was a tropical storm earlier this morning, but the latest update from the National Hurricane Center now has Irma as a Category 2 hurricane. It is moving off to the west and is forecast to be a major hurricane.
Hurricane Irma has just moments ago been upgraded to a major storm, a Category 4 hurricane, with Florida appearing to be right in its track. Authorities there are sounding the alarm, warning residents to stock up and get their emergency plans in order right now. I'm going to go straight to meteorologist Tom Sater. Tom, the various models are starting to agree here that the continental U.S. is in the hurricane's path. When might Irma hit?
Well, you know, let me back up to Thursday when we first introduced Irma. We said that we're really going to need about 4 or 5 days, and that's starting to unfold. As you mentioned, the models are getting into agreement. But when we showed you a model last Thursday, the European model and the U.S. model were 1,200 miles apart. The U.S. model up by the northeastern U.S. and the European down by Florida. Well, now they're pretty close, and I'll show you. This system right now is just as strong as Harvey was when it made landfall and devastated Rockport, Texas. The winds are the same at 130, and it's moving right over the northern islands of the Lesser Antilles. That's St. Kitts and Nevis. That's Antigua, Barbuda, Anguilla. In fact, might move right over that. Then it's the U.S. British Virgin Islands that have a watch. That'll go to a warning, as well as Puerto Rico. 6 to 9 foot storm surges, 10 inches of rain. Most of the heavy rain, I think, is going to stay over water. But here's just a little time plan with tropical storm force winds. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Turks and Caicos, Dominican Republic, Haiti, then Cuba, and possibly even extending into southern Florida. But let's run the National Hurricane Center track, and you'll get an idea. It hasn't really moved much. It's been trending south. And if you look at this, you think, well, my goodness, this is heading right into the Gulf of Mexico. We can't rule that out, but I don't think that's the best case scenario right now. We have still a window open, although it's closing. But we have a window open that we could see the system turn to the north and stay out in the Atlantic off the coast. But that window is shutting quickly. Most likely what we're looking at, Pamela, as we get in toward Friday, we're looking at a turn to the right. We don't know when that will happen, so we can't give you exact location of a landfall or the timing just yet. But let me show you the European now with the U.S. model. And as we put these in comparison now, first of all, they're on top of each other. So we start out at the same location. You want to see agreement. They're not moving from each other. But as we get closer out, or farther out, I should say, there is some variation. This is Sunday afternoon. Now, last Thursday, it was Saturday night we had it here, so it hasn't been moving much. Let's take it now to 9/11, and it does look like, if it doesn't make landfall in Florida, somewhere in the coastal Carolinas. So everyone needs to start preparing, have a plan, sit down with the family, and discuss this. Next weekend, maybe a major hurricane, at least Category 3, 4, could be 5.
And of course, all this on the heels of Hurricane Harvey. Tom Sater, thank you very much.
could threaten the U.S. It's brewing out in the Atlantic as we speak. Hurricane Irma now churning far out in the Atlantic, and meteorologist Adam Klotz live in the Fox Extreme Weather Center. What do we need to know about this, Adam?
Hey there, Ed. Well, this is a big one. It continues to move this way, but obviously slowly as you're looking at a movement there at 14 miles an hour. Winds up to 120 miles an hour. We're beginning to see a couple of watches and warnings being placed in the Lesser Antilles. That should be arriving into those initial islands here tomorrow night. So we still have a little bit of time, but this is going to be a big system. Currently, that Category 3 will build up to a Category 4 storm. Here is our current path. This is the cone of uncertainty, which means it could settle a little to the south. It could move a little to the north, but current paths take it right to the north of San Juan, Puerto Rico, before running into the Bahamas. When you see the Bahamas there, that's running you all the way until Saturday. So yes, there's still a good amount of time from today, Monday, all the way into Saturday. Still, at that point, we'll be waiting to see where exactly it's going to go, if it's going to make landfall or not. Now, the models keep shifting on this a little bit. We've got a big Bermuda high-pressure system, and that's forcing this thing to settle to the south. Initial models suggested maybe it wants to run to the north, but as this keeps pushing on it, we keep seeing this shift farther and farther south. As it moves this direction, we're going to have to make up our mind. Are we going to move up the east coast, or there's at least a small chance that this sneaks into the Gulf? Most models at this point are telling us that, yes, it's going to be climbing up the east coast. Here's what some of our tropical models do say, and this is a spaghetti plot, so it runs several different models, all pretty much in agreement there, running right north of Puerto Rico. But at this point, that's when you start to question, well, where will you go next? A couple of different possibilities here as well. One, as it moves that way, we're talking about strengthening from a 3 to a 4, maybe going back down to a 3 as you run over some of those islands. But this is going to be a big one, and it's still not totally known where it's going to turn, right or left. But guys, we are getting here right into the heart of hurricane season. It actually peaks on the 12th, which could be when this thing's getting closer to shore. So we're right there, and we're going to be busy here for a little while, guys.
Wow, no doubt about it. The Gulf can hardly withstand another storm right now, but the East Coast also bracing for that. Adam, thanks for bringing us the info.